not joking. All my guys, them know me.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa, and if you're new, please like this video, subscribe, click the notification bell so that whenever I post, you'll be the first to find out. So guys, this year will make it 5 years since we purchased our first property in the UK, and I just want to talk about the journey so far. And trust me, what prompted this video is there was an argument going on social media where people were saying, instead of buying a property, why don't you just rent? Buying a property is a waste of time. Before you finish paying it, it will be like in 30 years or in 25 years. And I'm like, pull up, come closer. I don't understand. Like, why are you proudly displaying your ignorance to everybody? See, before I start, right, if you come from this line of thought that renting is better than acquiring a mortgage, please share in the comment section. I want to understand the narrative behind that. I want to understand why you think it's better to pay off somebody else's mortgage, to enrich somebody else's pocket, than paying off your own mortgage or enriching your own pocket. Do you realize that sometimes, in fact most times, mortgages are actually cheaper, like more affordable in the long run? Because I know a lot of people that when they were renting, they were paying like maybe 1,415, but when they actually purchase their own property, they started paying it off for like 1,000. Some people also believe that the deposit they paid for their mortgage is a waste. I mean, why would you save up that sum of money and use it to get a mortgage? Why? Like, I don't understand. I know people will all come from different school of thought, but I really want to understand the explanation behind that. So if you come from that line of thought, that school of thought, share in the comment section. Educates me. I want to know. But in the meantime, I want to just share our journey so far. Start buying our first property in the UK. Emphasis on first property. I'm going to be talking about the good, the challenges, the regrets. Was it worth it? Just basically sharing my journey. So my number one point is investment equity. Was it worth it? Do we think we made a good move? Yes, guys, absolutely. Our equity definitely has increased over time. House prices are judged to double in 15 years if the market remains stable, because the market is always fluctuating, goes high, up, higher. Most times, inflation tends to be the order of the day. We have been living in this house for 5 years. I can tell you for a fact that our equity is increasing and increasing and increasing. In fact, every time we keep tracking it, if it has not added money, at least, guys, at least £40,000. I'm just going for the least. So if we're to like sell off this house, we are definitely going to get enough deposit for maybe like 2 more houses. So yeah, our equity is in positive, and that's really like a very good thing. And that's why I want to stress on the importance of buying a property in a very good environment. Very important that you consider the area you want to buy a house. Very important, so to be easy for you to sell. And guys, one thing I didn't know about buying a house is you buy the properties inside though. When you visit showrooms all decorated, and you start to think, oh, is this how my house will look like? Would I own all these properties, all these decorations, all these ornaments? No, guys, your house is coming as empty as it can be. As a matter of fact, most houses don't come with wardrobe, they don't come with carpets, nothing. But then again, it's your house, so there's no rush. 5 years into our house, there are a lot of things I wanted to do. Like, for example, our kitchen. I wanted to tile up our kitchen walls, because most of them don't come tiled, and I don't understand why they would do such a thing. Like, they just paint your wall for you, so you definitely have to tile it. But house, we just use tile sticker, having it in mind that, you know, along the line we'll have to just get it alive to tile it. And of course, our garden, I really wanted to invest hugely into our garden, but at some point the Canada dream came along, and I'm like, hold up, no way. There's no point, you know, spending money, you know, doing all this stuff. And we just been starting the house like that, so the house is not 100% where I would want it to be. I mean, when it comes to like decorating the house. But, you know, here we are. So you just need to understand that it might even take you 10 years for you to decorate your house to your taste. Sometimes, maybe not. You may never be able to even decorate it to your taste, because you always want to change something. You always want to buy something. So trust me, decorating a house is very expensive. You have to keep your separate money. That's separate from the legal fees, separate from your deposits. It's a lot of money, trust me. My second point definitely is stability and renting. We are so stable here. We love it here. No landlord wahala. The peace of mind of owning a property. See, I'm downstairs filming this video. If you see the banging, the way these kids bang upstairs, I'm like, wait, if we're living in an apartment, is this what my kids would have been doing to people downstairs? Boom, boom. And you know, these houses that are not used with cement, I'd forgotten what they use in building a house. Like, your child can literally bang their head on the wall and they will just start smiling. Like, no effect, because it's so soft. They don't use blocks inside. I don't know what they use. For example, if you can hear the sound, like, you can literally blow the wall and you will not feel pain. It's so soft. So you can now imagine the impacts of the noise of kids upstairs. So the peace of mind. Imagine if I was living in an apartment. By now, I'm sure I would have lived in almost 10 houses, because we keep getting queen notice upon queen notice, because these landlords, they're not smiling these days. So we have this peace of mind. Remember when we were renting and we had my first child, we wanted to hang the TV because it kept on going to the TV, but we could not, because it was stated in our contract that no hangings on the wall. I wanted to hang some of our portraits on the wall, pictures, just decorate the house. My hands were tied. I could not do much, because I needed to comply with the contract that I signed, because if I do anyhow, I lose my bond. So, but now I can do whatever I want to do. It's in my house. If I feel like, oh, I want to change this, I want to change that, change the rug, I'm at liberty to do that, because it is my property. So I have full control of my house, which of course is very good. So I can modify my house to my taste and not think about any landlord. So one thing I did not really prepare myself for was the hidden cost of maintaining a house. Gosh, like, we are currently responsible for maintaining our streets, our estate. We contribute money yearly towards that effect. Our boiler, of course, it's our business. House insurance, insuring most of the items in the house. For example, when we're renting, we're living in a furnished apartment, so we had no business with buying properties. But down to the washing machine, the microwave, the boiler, everything was given to us by the landlord. So the landlord insured the boiler, of course. And if we had any issue, I remember our bathroom kept on giving us problems. And the man kept on coming over and over and over and over again to fix it. When there is a mold in the bathroom, it will come fix it. You know, the washing machine would get faulty, it will come fix it. It was basically doing everything. And oh my goodness, broadband issues, it was fixing it. Ours was just to lay complaint. And honestly, the man was really, really good. It was a really, really good landlord. He don't give us any problems at all. It was always ready to fix things in the house. And I remember, guys, our heating, when you in the UK at the time, because it was bills inclusive, everything was like 500 and something a month, and that was why we're even able to save towards getting a mortgage really fast, because we're paying just 500 and something for bills and rent. It's so affordable. I'm not sure you get that in 2025. No way. So at the time, we're still new in the country. We would leave the heating on. Like, heating was on 247, morning till night, morning till night. We had no understanding about heating bills, electricity bills, nothing at all. We're burning the heating, guys. And trust me, it's not our fault. We did not know. It was the point when we got a house that we realized that, oh my goodness, imagine during winter, you're putting on shorts and like a singlet, just as though you're in summer. Because I had no understanding of, bills at all, because it was all inclusive. But owning a house now, oh my goodness, I now understand that I have to kit up, I have to, double layer up, put on thick clothing, especially fleece clothing, both for myself and my kids, because we are now responsible for the bills, for everything in this house. There's no landlord to come in for us fix something. And guys, maintenance is so expensive. Talking of mowing our garden, that was one thing I absolutely dread. Now I just outsource it. Just get somebody to come and mow it. Like, don't stress me. So another thing you should expect is interest rates will go high. Like, currently, interest rate is so high. Luckily for us, we are not affected by that, because we did like a fixed interest rate for 5 years. It's even now, they were thinking of remortgaging. Obviously, things have gone higher, and thankfully we are British citizens now, so we are expecting that our interest rates will not be so high. Fingers crossed on that. That's another responsibility, of course, of owning a property. On the other hand, which of course, if you are renting, what's your business with remortgaging? What's your business with interest rates? You have no business with that. So both just have their pros and cons, but trust me, nothing beats the peace of mind that comes with owning a property. I have a friend that she has moved out countless times because because a landlord just cannot tolerate a kid. She has special needs kids, so they are very hyperactive. But I mean, landlords these days, they're not smiling. They don't care. You know, there are a lot of people looking for properties to rent, so they don't care. Like, they can easily just tell you to go because you're constituting nuisance in their own words. So there's just this peace of mind that comes with owning your property, which I really love. Unexpected life changes. So right now we are going through a major change in my family. Major change, big one at that. You guys already know we are, making plans, putting everything in place to, relocate. That's where the big problem is. What do we do to our investment in the UK? What are we going to do? Are we going to sell? Are we going to rent? Like, it's tricky. So you have that commitment. You just cannot wake up one morning, carry your bags, and go to Australia or move to Canada or move back to Nigeria. Basically move to another country. You can't do that because you have commitment. So that's another thing you want to consider. So which is good anyway. It's good, but then again, it's limiting, because if not for our investment, I wouldn't be here now. Like, I have no business being here anymore at this point, but I have to stay here till we sort out everything. So that's another thing you may want to consider. So you might have, unexpected life changes. You might get a new job with huge pay that will warrant you moving. And let's say you purchase a one-bedroom apartment and your family size increases. You have to start thinking about getting a bigger property, things like that. On what I knew before buying a property, I had no clue about the south-facing garden and east-facing garden or west, wherever it is. I don't understand that. So I think south-facing garden means you get enough sunlight in your garden during summer, and I think the north or east or west, wherever, means you have limited sunlight in your garden, which I'm not particular about. I think house is south facing because we do get enough sunshine in our garden. I think so. But while our opposite neighbor, they get more sunshine in the front of their house rather than their garden, which to me is not a problem because I barely even spend time in my garden. In fact, how many times do we get to experience sunshine in the UK? We barely even see sunshine. And when you finally get it, most times you just want to go to the park. You just want to, go out there, see people, because when the sun is out, lots and lots of people are out of their homes. You're seeing people, which we really don't get to experience all the time, because in winter, everybody just wants to go to the shop and go into their home or go to work, go back home. Everybody basically just lives a triangular life during winter. Meanwhile, during summer, the few times we get to experience sunshine, because it's summer does not mean it's going to be hot in the UK at all. For example, here, last year at about July, we're still kitting up. We're still putting on our winter jacket because it was cold. So sometimes in winter, it's even raining, like heavy rainfall. That's not so significant for me, but I just thought to mention it in this video because you might want to think about that before buying a property. Now, secondly, on what I wish before buying a house, I didn't know anything about snagging, right? So we didn't have our house snagged. Snagging means you get a professional that will check to be sure that everything is okay with the house, especially if it's a new build. New builds tend to come with lots of issues. But thankfully, our developer was really kind to us. When we developed some issues, they were really prompt in dealing with them. For example, there was a day that we woke up to a wet house, like our floor was literally wet. Water was pouring from the decking and no taps were on. We couldn't understand that. So we rang them immediately and they came. Another time, water just stopped flowing in the house. So we could barely do anything on that particular day. We rang them, they came. Now, there was even a very big issue we had with them regarding pipe where smoke comes out from, I can't remember what it's called, where it would be placed. I don't want to bore you guys with all that details, but it was a very big issue for up to like 2 years. At some point, it even became a legal case, but finally it was, resolved. They no agree for us, we too, we no agree for them. We're dragging it. So I wish we had someone snag our house before we moved in. Maybe it would have helped. Okay, this point is not exactly about what I wish I knew. You need to understand that the higher your deposit, the lesser the money you'll be paying monthly, right? Oh, I knew about this anyway, but it was what we had now. We deposited what we had. But like, for example, if you deposit like 50% of the value of the house or 40%, then definitely you would pay less money monthly. Another thing is, most people think you must pay off the house in 25 years, there's an option of reducing or increasing. You can even start off with 30 years, and with time you reduce it when your income goes higher. So these are the things you should, have in mind. And lastly, gosh, your first home doesn't have to be your forever home, because if we had enough money at the time, I think we would have just hoped for a bigger house. A house is quite big, it's okay, reasonably big, or maybe like 5 bedroom. This house is currently a 4-bedroom house, but the fourth room is downstairs, so we just tend to use it as study room. So it's not something I can easily convert to my kitchen, because I can't be sleeping upstairs and my kids will be downstairs. Neither can I make it their playroom, because I won't be so comfortable. They are very young, so there's no way they will be downstairs playing in their playroom and I will be comfortable upstairs. My house is a 3-floor house, so it's not like, okay, just upstairs, downstairs. So the fourth room is just kind of useless in a way. We just use it as study room, which we barely even use. Ideally, it should be my office, because I work remotely most of the time, but it's not really my office because of the kids. My twins, for instance, they don't go to school every day, so I can't be in my office working and they will be in the lounge. They have to be around me. So I think maybe I would have gone for something more suitable for my family, I would say, because now if you want to buy a second property that you would want to live in, you have to pay stamp duty, which, houses of these days, houses are expensive these days. So for instance, if you're thinking of buying like a house worth £500,000, you have to consider paying 5% of the value of that house, to the government. Please, what's the essence of stamp duty? That thing is so annoying. So any regrets so far? Absolutely not. Zero regret. Because who does not like that extra money? You're in your house. At the same time, you're making money because your equity is building up, is growing. Meanwhile, if we're renting, the money would have just been going. It's like a waste. They're just housing you every month. You're not aiming at gaining anything, just being housed every month, probably helping someone else to pay off their mortgage. So if you're able to save up, you can open an ISA account. We didn't use ISA at the time, but there's ISA now. There are a lot of ways to save up money to be able to buy a house. You might want to explore that, because nothing beats the peace that comes with owning your property. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Share your thoughts in the comment section, and I will see you all again. Bye guys.